Live from WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 7.
Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, November 2nd, and we are just one day away now from Election Day.
This is the most important election of our lifetimes. We're at an inflection point. So we have to vote like we never did before.
No administration, no president has done anything near what we've done in the first 3.5 years.
President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden are focusing on the swing states. Mr. Trump will hold 6 rallies in 5 states as he tries to keep his base fired up. And Biden will be in Ohio and Pennsylvania, hoping to turn those states blue. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Skylar Henry has more on the final day on the campaign trail.
Both campaigns are confident heading into the final hours of the election.
Florida, we're looking very good. If you look at Iowa, we're looking very good.
2 more days, we can put an end to this presidency that has, from the very beginning, sought to divide us.
At a midnight rally in South Florida, President Trump said Joe Biden will ruin the economy.
This election is a choice between a crippling depression or a historic boom.
While the former vice president said the country can't recover from the coronavirus with Mr. Trump in office.
To beat the virus, we first got to beat Donald Trump.
Biden spent yesterday in Pennsylvania, a state the president won by just 44,000 votes in 2016.
President Trump is terrified of what will happen in Pennsylvania.
Nationwide, more than 93 million ballots have already been cast, with some areas seeing more votes than all of 2016.
Everyone's taking it seriously this time. Now I think everyone's saying that they want to be counted.
President Trump said he wants the vote counting to stop on Election Day.
We should know the result of the election on November 3rd, the evening of November 3rd. That's the way it's been, and that's the way it should be.
But that's not true. States continue to count votes after Election Day.
Pennsylvania has always taken a week, for example, to count military ballots.
In several Pennsylvania counties, officials won't start counting mail-in ballots until Wednesday. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Well, polls in Connecticut are open from 6 tomorrow morning until 8 o'clock at night. And people who are voting absentee are reminded that they must return their completed ballot in person or at a drop box location by 8 o'clock. Now, there are some concerns about the speed that the Postal Service is processing these mail-in ballots, so much so that a federal judge has intervened. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Patricia Del Rio explains what is being done to make sure every ballot is counted.
A federal judge on Sunday ordering the U.S. Postal Service to mandate extraordinary measures to address the slowdown of ballot processing in key states. All ballots that stay local are required to be processed and delivered to local post offices the same day they arrive or the next morning at the latest. The order comes as the Postal Service's delivery performance in the days before the election has become a point of contention, especially in battleground states where thousands of voters are mailing ballots because of the pandemic. As part of the order, the USPS must send a memo to processing plant managers and division directors saying the extraordinary measures must be put in place to ensure delivery of every ballot possible by the cutoff time on Election Day.
All right, we're in early warning weather alert mode today because we have a wind advisory in effect. But first, I want to talk about the Election Day forecast because it's so important to get out the vote. And we want you to do so tomorrow. We are talking about a nice day, but we could start off with some snow showers in the very early morning hours of northwest Connecticut and southwest Connecticut like we are this morning. And then as we move through the day, we are expecting partial sunshine with temperatures climbing into the low 40s. Now, that's a little bit below average. 57 is the normal high. As you can see there, 57 normal high. We're not going to get there today, and we're not going to get there tomorrow, but we're actually going to get there on Wednesday and then move above that for the remainder of the week. Typical overnight low 37. We were pretty close to that this morning, but the wind made it feel so much cooler. Wind advisory in effect until 6 p.m. today, and those winds are going to be howling, sustained anywhere from 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts 40 to 55 miles an hour. That means some down power lines and some down trees, so please be careful out there. You ever see a down power line, don't go anywhere near it. Call your utility company. We do have a little bit of snow out there for you this morning. Some snow showers moving through through Goshen and Litchfield. I heard from all of you, my emailers up in this part of the state, that it is snowing up there. You've got some moderate snow coming down where you see the darker Wedgwood blues in South Norfolk, North Goshen, Winchester Center. So just be careful driving around out there. You might pick up a quick dusting, a little bit of a coating up there, but it should dissipate as we move through the morning. 40 degrees right now in Bridgeport. Not a bad number. 35 in Stores, 38 in Greenwich, and Ridgefield 36, but you will notice the gusts. These occurred at about 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning. The wind subsided a bit, and now they're expected to pick up as we move through the day today. You can already start to see that camera bouncing around as we take a look at the skyline of Hartford from our vantage point here in Rocky Hill. Torrington, you can see a couple of flakes there in the foreground. They had a couple of snowflakes there in Torrington. They're bouncing around, so you might see some picturesque snow showers this morning. And Hartford, good morning to you. As we take a look at the skyline, really beautiful start this morning with the sun coming up nice and early this morning, but it does set awfully early now that daylight saving time has come to an end. So partly cloudy skies to start. Temperatures out there in the mid to upper 30s. The wind does make it feel a little bit cooler. You'll notice the wind picking up now, 13 to 16 miles an hour sustained in Waterbury, Danbury, and in Bridgeport. And that wind out there with gusts to 26 miles an hour does make it feel a little bit cooler, like it's in the mid to upper 20s. So you got to grab that winter coat as you're heading out the door. As we move through the day today, you can expect strong winds. Please be careful. The rain from yesterday has made a departure. The winds are now out of the west. You can see the snow showers making their way across New York State right on into Connecticut. So you might see a couple of snow showers out there during the morning today. As we move through the day today, it's going to be windy and cold. The temperatures are literally almost 20 degrees colder in certain towns, especially in northwest Connecticut, than we should be. 57 the normal high, and that wind is going to make it feel substantially colder. Tomorrow, maybe a morning snow shower giving way to partly sunny skies. Looks good, but cold for Election Day. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we start moving things up. Look at those temperatures by the weekend in the mid to upper 60s. All right, that's a check of your early morning forecast. Nicole, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Scott. We are following breaking news right now in Salem, where a school bus has been involved in a crash. Now, Pinpoint News Tracker shows us exactly where it happened, right on Route 85 near Sullivan Road. And this happened around 6:30 this morning. The road is closed in that area, so drivers are being detoured around this area. So we have a crew headed to the scene, and we'll be sure to bring you any updates on air and on the Channel 3 app. Now, the number of new coronavirus cases only continues to spike in most states, and more than 9 million people in this country have been infected so far, and more than 230,000 people have died. Connecticut is now entering the second wave of the pandemic, and 30 cities and towns in our state are under red alert status. That includes Waterbury, where everyone is being encouraged in that city to get tested for COVID, even if they don't have any symptoms. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Aya Galal explains why.
The Brass City is under a red alert. Mayor Neil O'Leary sharing that as of Sunday afternoon, 3,294 Waterbury residents have tested positive for COVID. 14 patients are currently hospitalized, and there have been 197 coronavirus-related deaths. For cities and towns that fall under a red alert, the State Department of Public Health advises people to limit trips outside their home and avoid gatherings with non-family members. Indoor activities should be postponed, and it's recommended the city reverts back to Phase 2 restrictions. Over the weekend, students at 3 Waterbury schools tested positive for COVID. Those schools are Chase Elementary School, Waterbury Career Academy, and Maloney Interdistrict Magnet School.
That was Aya Galal reporting. Students at Middletown High School will be learning from home starting today after a teacher and student both tested positive for COVID-19 there. Students will be remote for 2 weeks, and they'll return to the building on Monday, November 16th. Families are encouraged to take advantage of weekly testing that's being offered at the schools in the city. And hundreds of college students were seen partying at Anthony's Ocean View in New Haven last week with no social distancing and very few mask wearing. Quinnipiac University is sending about 20 students who attended that party home for failing to follow basic health guidelines. The school says if additional students are identified, they too will be sent home. Anthony's Ocean View was shut down by the health department on Friday. And breaking overnight in Bristol, police are looking for suspects after seeing a black Jeep dragging an ATM. Yep, take a look at the photo. There's the proof. This happened around 3 this morning. Officers say the Jeep Wrangler was stolen in Bloomfield and then used to pull this People's United Bank ATM from the branch on Riverside Avenue. Now, as police approached the car, 2 people jumped out of the Jeep and took off. So contact Bristol Police if you know what happened. All right, thanks so much for tuning in to Eyewitness News this morning on this Monday. Remember, you can get news and weather updates anytime on the Channel 3 app, and we'll have all that you need as you prepare for Election Day tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.